Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 9 Frames Podcast. This is episode 61, and it is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. I'm Bill Whalen.
And I'm Mike Whalen.
Be sure to catch us, as always, on YouTube at 9 Frames Podcast. Our Spotify is 9 Frames, and our X is at 9 Frames Pod. Be sure to follow us on there, subscribe, like, share, and comment if you like the show.
Yeah, we appreciate it as always, and the news continues to roll in as we have another free agent signing to announce. Pretty decent-sized one. And then an update on the Ohtani contract, which was, we were talking about the deferred money on the last episode. It is a lot more than we anticipated.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get into it.
That's right. We got the grandson of the win off of the market and Shohei Ohtani's contract details along with some more sub-points around the league. Stay tuned. And we will get into those big stories now, the biggest stories amongst them, in my opinion. Jung Hoo Lee, the Korean phenomenon, signs a 6-year, $113 million contract with the San Francisco Giants. That does have an opt-out after the 4th season, but I'm not sure it's going to be taken. It's got around $18 million a year AAV. Pretty crazy stuff to see.
Yeah, he wasn't valued this highly. We were just talking about it. I saw a lot of places saying he was going to get like 5 years, $50 million, and he ends up getting 6 for $113 from the Giants, who were in on Ohtani. They've been rumored to be in on Yamamoto, the big free agents of the offseason, and then they go right ahead and spend $113 million on who they think is their big fish, maybe, I guess.
This is a team that they've been really getting tossed around in the free agent market for the last couple of years. They thought they had Aaron Judge on the books. They thought they had Carlos Correa on the books, and none of that came to pass. They thought they had a chance at bringing Chris Bryant back. That didn't happen either. So they're really swinging and missing on a lot of free agent signings. They wanted to overpay to get their guy here. I'm not sure if it's the move.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope they didn't just overpay too much just because they wanted to land their guy, because if he was actually valued at $50 million, for him to get 113 and an extra year, I mean, we talked about how good he was in Korea. He had the 340 average in 7 seasons. He's still only 25 years old, so he's not very, I mean, he's got a long career ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention he's a 900 OPS guy, so well above league average if you are taking that on over to MLB.
Very different league.
Of course, he is a Rookie of the Year in the KBO. He had his MVP season in 2022, and he's a 5-time Gold Glove winner, 515 RBIs under the belt, and he's only 25, as you said. He is coming off of a fractured ankle that ended last season after only 86 games for him. That kind of people are projecting he might have to play right field to start the season, but he's a phenomenal fielder out there in right and center.
Yeah, he's a 5-time KBO Gold Glover already at the age of 25, which is absolutely insane to think about. So if there's one thing that's for certain about him, it's that he's got a great glove, and that's going to translate to the majors because, of course, I mean, he's not going to lose the glove. It's very different hitting major league pitching compared to Korean league pitching. Yeah, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they use him, where they slot him in the lineup if he's their new leadoff hitter.
That's what the projections have him at. They think he's going to be a leadoff hitter, great contact, and a solid OPS. Maybe get a guy on scoring position to start games could be very helpful for them.
Yeah, I don't hate it for the Giants. I just hope that they didn't overpay too much.
I mean,
just to get their guy.
People are getting paid a lot, so we'll see how it pans out. We did see today, not sure if it's true, but he does kind of struggle with higher velocity pitching, so it should be interesting to see how he makes the move on over to the major leagues. His close friend, Ha-Sung Kim, came over and kind of struggled in his first season, had an OPS in the 600s, then bumped it up to low 700s, then mid 700s. So we could see that there's kind of an adjustment period, and it'll be interesting to see if Jung Hoo Lee goes through that as well.
Yeah, I mean, Ha-Sung Kim was fantastic this year for the Padres.
But it took a couple of years to get there, and with this being a possibly 4-year contract with opt-outs, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out for the Giants. The last thing I wanted to say about it is, folks, if you know stadiums, that is a funny right center field area.
Triples Alley.
It is a lot of adjustment.
If he plugs that, I mean, is he a lefty or a righty? I'm not sure.
I'm gonna assume he's a righty. He's a lefty batter.
So I mean,
he might be a lefty glove. I'm not sure actually.
I'm talking about the bat though. If he can plug Triples Alley and he's got speed, we could see a lot. We could see this guy fly.
Yeah, it appears that he is a lefty bat, and Yeah, not to mention the, 309 down right field?
Yeah.
McCovey Cove type guy.
Yeah, the big wall, but it's a short pole. So we'll see how he adjusts to that stadium for sure. Yeah,
the grandson of the Wind moving on over to San Francisco to play with the Giants for possibly 6 years, at least 4.
Yeah, and so the next thing that we're going to talk about is we were breaking down the Shohei Ohtani contract in the last episode where he got the 10-year, $700 million deal from the Dodgers.
Yeah, details weren't out on the yearlies yet.
Yeah, they are now. So Shohei Ohtani will be making $2 million on an average annual value for the first 10 years. Like, that's his entire contract. After those 10 years, he will be deferring $68 million of his 70 per year. So the Dodgers will be paying him 10 years after his 10-year contract is up at $68 million a year to not be on the team. But it will open up a lot of payroll potential for the 10 years that he's there.
Wild to think about. They will be paying Shohei Ohtani $68 million from 2034 to 2043.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money that'll be coming off the books later. This deal, I understand it. It gives them the ability to build something special now.
They're giving themselves a 10-year window.
Yeah, but it's crazy. It's going to be a while to see the state of the Los Angeles Dodgers in 10 years because if you make note of it, Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts also have heavy deferrals around the same time.
Yeah, they're going to be paying upwards of $80 million in deferrals for three players in 10 years that are not on their team. So it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be a big obstacle for them to have to pay that and then fill in their roster afterwards. So, like I said, they got 10 years now to figure it out. Mookie and Shohei are definitely locked up. Freddie's on the older side, but he's got at least 3 years left with them. They're going to be a force, and I don't think they're done adding either, which is the scariest part. They have been rumored.
A lot of people up in arms about this deal and about how active the Dodgers are in general, but they played within the rules and they kind of manipulated it as best they could.
Yeah, and there's been rumors, since they signed Ohtani, that they're still in on Yamamoto, and they're still in on guys like Tyler Glasnow and Manuel Margot via trade. So, the Dodgers are still going to be aggressive even after landing the biggest fish of the offseason.
Back on over to Shohei Ohtani, apparently the news is he offered this style of heavily deferred contract to all teams he negotiated with. So you got to think that's at least the Yankees, the Cubs, the Giants, the Angels.
Well, apparently the Dodgers or the Giants had agreed to the same terms as the Giants did, the 10 for $700 with the deferrals as they are. And Shohei just chose the Dodgers over the Giants. What more can they really do?
Not for nothing.
They came in second again.
This felt like it was always going to be the Dodgers for Shohei Ohtani, especially if they're going to give him this deal and this money. Why not? Literally, why would he go anywhere else? It doesn't make any sense. This is his best chance at a World Series, I would say. Right now, for this 10-year frame, he's only going to be paid $2 million a year. I actually just saw that he makes around $40 to $45 million off of the baseball field on his endorsements and everything.
Yeah, he's going to be a billionaire.
So yeah, he's a man who is entirely fine just taking that $2 million baseball check for the next 10 years and then getting 68 after that when he's probably retired and living back in Japan.
That is exactly why he did it, and he's going to be a very wealthy man until the day he dies now because of this one contract. His family is set up for generations now, and it's because of how fantastic he is on the field. So
generational talent brings in generational wealth. That adds up to me. Sticking with the Dodgers, like you said, they are targeting Josh Hader along with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, so they are getting very aggressive. And they actually met with Yamamoto Tuesday in Dodger Stadium. I saw the picture on the board welcoming him in.
Yeah, I think the thing is about Yamamoto is he's gonna want too much from his team because a lot of the time when the guys are coming over from Japan, their agents tell them to just take the highest offer because it's, why wouldn't you? I don't know. I don't know how aggressive they're going to be. It's kind of scary to hear that they're still being aggressive with guys of that caliber.
Dodgers in on just about everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not, their name is still prominently in all the rumors, and they've just got the number one free agent on the market. So if they're still talking about getting number 2 now too. This could be a Dodgers offseason, and then we could be looking at a very, very different landscape in the league next year.
Yeah, not to mention Josh Hader possibly coming on over to the back end of the pen, man. The Dodgers clearly did not take the postseason defeat to the the rival D-backs well, and they came out super aggressive in this offseason.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, they are also discussing a trade with the Rays in which they would get Tyler Glasnow and Manuel Margot from them for Ryan Pepwa, who we saw last year in the majors.
Valuable guy to have.
Outfielder Johnny DeLuca. There's not really much more about the deal. It's still in the early stages of it. Who knows if it even happens? I mean,
this was a Rosenthal tweet as of this morning. The deal's not complete, and changes are very possible. Financial exchange is likely. I mean, this is a deal that would, again, just double down on how serious the Dodgers are about winning right now, bringing in Tyler Glasnow and Manuel Margot. I think it would be a great move for them, and I honestly wouldn't hate it for the Rays either, because Ryan Pepwa, I feel like he would be a stud in Tampa Bay. He's the type of guy who would fit right in.
Yeah, and they would make him an absolute animal just in their factory alone.
He's already been solid, so you take him there.
You're going from the Dodgers factory to the Rays factory. I mean, it's two of the best.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on that deal. It is very much up in the air, and other people are still in on Glasnow. The Los Angeles Angels are among the teams interested in a trade for Tyler Glasnow, Corbin Burns, or Shane Bieber. Corbin Burns, obviously, we heard maybe they hold on to him.
Well, they said they're not going to be trading him, so it doesn't really matter if they have interest.
Well, it said they're expected to hold on to him. Why? Who knows?
The Angels ain't going to offer them something to blow them away.
Yeah, but Tyler Glasnow and Shane Bieber are the more likely options than going to Los Angeles. On the Angels, just clearly trying to fill that hole now that Shohei Ohtani is off the roster.
Yeah, and back to the Dodgers real quick. I feel like if they do get Glasnow, that kind of would have to take them out of Yamamoto.
You would think, yeah.
Because he's owed $25 million more you're adding to the payroll. How much more are we adding after that?
Yeah, I mean, man, I saw a quote from Mad Dog this morning, and it said, the Dodgers got more money than God. And I mean,
but I don't think they do then. I mean, they don't have more money than the Mets, so where are they getting it?
I don't know. I mean, they keep dishing it out, and you're not hearing too much from the Mets right now, so clearly the checkbook is open for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, I did hear something about the Mets this morning, that they were in the top 2 to 3 candidates for Yamamoto.
Oh, yeah.
And they've long been underdogs, apparently, and now they're one of the most prominent contenders.
It seems to be both New York teams and Los Angeles as his top contenders right now.
Yeah, you'd assume maybe maybe the Red Sox mixed in there.
Mm-hmm. And for a
Chicago.
while, people thought maybe the Giants, but clearly you'd think they'd be out after overpaying for Jung Hoo Lee, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Who knows? They have money to spend as well, so we'll see how aggressive they are. Maybe they shift over to somebody like Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery.
A lot of movement in the West over there. Very interesting to see the NL West and the AL West staying active.
Speaking of West, somebody going from the NL West to the American League Central this year.
Leaving the Padres, and this is a deal that I personally very much like. The Kansas City Royals are finalizing a deal with Seth Lugo that is 3 years and $45 million. He had his first full year as a starter since 2017, so really his first full-time ever, because that was his only other one. And he put up 3.57 ERA, a 1.20 whip, 140 Ks and 146 in the third innings pitched, 26-game start. I think this is a solid get.
Yeah, it's a good contract, $15 million a year from a starter. I mean, the thing about 2017 when the Mets tried to originally turn Lugo into a starter is he struggled to stay healthy and stay on the field. This year, that didn't seem to be an issue. He made 26 starts. He put up, 146 innings plus. I mean, he that's a full season, so if you're the Royals, you have to be assuming you're getting a full-time starter who's been fully stretched out now over the course of a season, and I don't think he's going to be going back to the bullpen, although they will have that option, seeing that he has been successful there in the past.
I would think he signed here with the full expectation that he's going to be a starter, and I think this is a good move for the Royals in two different ways. If they decide to stick with him, I think this is a great arm to build around and kind of have a rotational piece. If not, then the Royals lately have been pivoting their guys who are under contract for these prospects, because as you said off camera to me, man, they got a really rough prospect system, and they got to try to rebuild that quick.
Yeah, I think they only have one top 100 prospect, and they were just the second worst team in the league record-wise.
Pretty rough, man.
I mean, they're in a really, really rough spot, but like I also just said, it's nice to see somebody, like some positive signings. Lugo at $15 million is a good get.
And then Will Smith as well. You can't knock that at all.
Yeah, and like you just said, if they have to trade him, I'm sure teams will be lining up to trade for a starter for $15 million
and
these
you get
days.
A couple prospects that you hope pan out later. I mean, it's kind of a win-win for the Royals, I think, in this, especially with how much starting pitchers are getting paid right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good move for both sides, honestly, because now Lugo's going to go start basically every time he can.
Yes.
For the next 3 years, hopefully.
It's another one of those deals that's been going on with the White Sox and teams of that nature where they are signing guys.
That's their selling point.
Yeah, they have the full expectation a rotational spot will be yours no matter what.
It's for guys that aren't immediately trying to win a World Series. They go, hey, we have open spots in our rotation. We're willing to give one to you for the next 3 years at however many dollars. And guys like Seth Lugo, why wouldn't you take the chance?
A lot of roads to winning, and this is definitely one of them. Build up your reputation and then get to the winner.
Absolutely.
Another move that has been made, the Pittsburgh Pirates signed Rowdy Tellez, first base DH, to a $3.2 million one-year contract. There's a possible $800K in performance bonuses, so at most $4 million, 3.2 at base.
Yeah, they snag him from the division rival Brewers. Just a quick snag.
And this is a guy who he is known for driving in runs and knocking the ball out of the park. He's going to continue to do that. I think it's a very good get for Pittsburgh, especially as they have announced that the catcher Endy Rodriguez will miss all of the 2024 season after elbow surgery on Tuesday.
Yeah, with the way that the league is now with everybody having DH, it makes so much sense for a team like Pittsburgh to give Rowdy Tellez a spot because he can play first base, and then when you want to play somebody else at first base, just give him the DH, give him a half day off, rest the legs.
I think he'll be DHing plenty.
Yeah,
and he fills that role very well.
Yeah, he's a big man. He's going to drive in runs. He's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So, I mean, for not even $3.5 million, why not?
The most value I think Rowdy brings to this young Pittsburgh team is veteran experience, and he has been around not only the major league scene, but specifically the NL Central for a long time.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting to see how he helps out that young core.
Yeah, he'll be very comfortable in those stadiums as he's played there the last handful of years. So, in Milwaukee. So,
and our last point here of the episode, an absolute nightmare scenario for the New York Mets here. Their number
is new.
Yeah, I know, man. Number 4 prospect, the infielder, mainly middle infield, a bit of third base. Ronnie Mauricio tears his ACL trying to steal second base in a Dominican Winter League game.
Yeah, he was going to be in the thick of the competition between him, Beatty, and Mark Vientos to see who could win that third base job. Just an absolutely awful injury. Just before the season starts, it reminds you a lot of the Edwin Diaz injury last year. Just unbelievable. Just terrible luck for the Mets again. This kid was one of the bright spots at the end of last year. He showed that he was ready for the big leagues after a long-awaited call-up. And now when he has the opportunity to win a job, it gets taken away because his knee pops. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, we've seen him quite literally grow before our eyes. He was on our original low-ball teams, and he was that skinny kid.
Yep.
We didn't know how he was going to develop. We see him putting on muscle. We see him getting better at fielding, acquiring a lot of pop in that bat, too. And, it's going to be a road to recovery. It's heartbreaking to just keep seeing Mets players go down with long-term injuries in jerseys that are not New York Mets jerseys.
Yeah, off of the Major League Baseball field, I know what you mean. Like, Diaz was in the World Baseball Classic, and this is just a fall league game. I mean, Dominican Winter League, it's just insane. I've never seen such unlucky things happen to a team. There's got to be some kind of curse on them or something, man.
We wish a speedy recovery to Ronnie Mauricio, and we wish the best to him. Hopefully see him on a diamond sooner rather than later. That was all of the baseball news from the beginning of the week, folks.
Get well soon, Ronnie.
Thank you to everybody for watching and listening wherever you do. This was episode 61 of the 9 Frames podcast, and it is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. I've been Bill Whalen.
And I've been Mike Whalen.
Catch us, as always, on YouTube at 9 Frames Podcast. Our Spotify is 9 Frames, and our X is at 9 Frames Pod, as always. Follow us, subscribe, like, comment, and share if you've enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, we appreciate it, like I say every time, as we trek through the off-season and get closer and closer to the start of the 2024 season. I mean, Christmas is almost upon us. We have less than 2 weeks, and then it's the new year. And then, hey, next thing you know, we're at spring training. So we're going to continue to keep you guys updated over the course of the offseason on any offseason moves, signings, trades, etc.
And we will be coming to you guys Friday with our predictions for our All-MLB team, as they will be announced Saturday night on MLB Network. Please stay tuned for that and give us some predictions if you've got them down in the comments below.
Yeah, we'll see you Friday.